This is a video about how to import assembly files from Autodesk Inventor 2017 into Showcase 2017. Now, if you have anywhere from 2013 to 2017 Showcase, it's going to be pretty close to the same. But that's what we'll be showing here. Now, the first thing I'm going to do is just open an assembly file in Inventor, because I have a couple things to show you about bringing in behaviors. Now, some of this stuff might be very basic for some people, but for the people that aren't familiar with Showcase at all, this will help. Okay, so here we have an assembly file in Inventor. Okay, now if you wanted to bring in a part file, an IPT file, into Showcase, you could do it, a single part, but you would have to bring it into an assembly file before you brought it into Showcase, because Showcase will not import part files, but it will import an assembly file. So if you want to bring in a single part and make it look cool or whatever, or make a short video, then just bring it into an assembly file and you can bring it in. Okay, now looking over here in the left, you see the behaviors we've got here. Okay, so I always start them with drive and I cap them so I can see that these constraints are drives. And right here, all we're going to do is copy them and then paste them in a Word doc, and I'll show you why. So if you have this entire name here, if you just click it once, click it twice, and then you push Control Copy. So you're going to copy that, and then you're going to paste it into a Word doc over here. Now, the purpose of that is so that you don't mistype something, leave out an underscore, for whatever reason, there might be one thing you leave out. If you do that, when you bring that behavior into Showcase, it won't work. Unless it's exactly as you have it in Inventor, Showcase won't recognize it. So that's why I just go over here and I highlight it, I copy it, and then I come here and I paste it. And then as I enter it into Showcase, I highlight it. So I'm not going to torture you with putting you through that whole procedure. So just this is how I do it, one at a time. Now I number them so that when I'm done, I know I got 5 behaviors. And when I go into Showcase, I want to see 5 behaviors. Okay, so that's how you bring those in. It's an assembly file. Okay, so this is a very simple assembly. It's only 2 parts plus some hardware, but it's going to be the same no matter how big the assembly is. I made this simple so that it would be easy to show you how to go through the procedure of bringing it into Showcase. I'm going to follow this up with some other videos on how to use Showcase and how to make shots, and then alternatives, and then make a short video or a long video and put music in it or whatever you want to do. So we'll get there later. So now we're going to go to Showcase and import those behaviors. Okay, so now you open up Showcase and you have this little arrow here. You have to bring it down in order to get to these options here. Okay, so bring this down, and the first thing you want to do is go over here to File, and then down to Settings, and then over to Import Settings. So you want to know what behaviors you're going to add to your model as you bring it in. So you go here and you have Create Behaviors from Constraints, right? So the first thing you do is go back to your Word doc, and here you have them. So let's just highlight one, copy it, bring it over here, paste it. Now to do the next one, you just plus, go back, and the same thing. Okay, we'll just do one more of these so I don't go through this whole thing and put you to sleep while you wait for this. Okay, so I'll enter the rest. Okay, so I've entered all 5. I go back here. I have 5, and I have 5 behaviors. Okay, now I've just cut and pasted them so there's no chance of me mistyping anything or anything like that. Now, some of you might feel, hey, I can type those in. I'm not that lame, no problem. Well, then go ahead, no big deal. I'm just showing you the way I do it, and that way I don't have some behaviors that don't work. Once you bring the model in, and if the behavior's not there, you got to start over again. You can't add it as you're in the middle of making the model. So close this, okay, and then you want to go find your file. Wait for it to set up there. Okay, so import files. Okay, I have it right here to the HVAC tool. Okay, so I just have it already preset there, but you go down and you find your file. Okay, so you pick the assembly file, an IAM file, and you import it. And then it's going to ask you here. Now, this one's already been set, but you want to make sure this has the right IPJ file. If you're working with Showcase and the last file you worked with, the last IPJ file, it will go back to that job. It won't give you the option of just a neutral and you go find it. You'll have to go here, and then you'll have to go into that same tool in your files and pick that file. Okay, and then open, and then continue. So make sure you do these two things, and then it's going to convert. Now, depending on the size of your model, if you had, I've had models here that were 1,200 parts, and it takes a long time to convert. Then, depending on the speed of your processor and your computer and everything, it's going to take a while. So, wait until you get your 2 green check marks, and then off you go. Okay, we're all converted, and here's the model. I cut out a lot of the time you saw of it converting, so don't worry if your computer takes a while to load this. So when you see the 2 green check marks up there, you just close it out, and off you go. Okay, now you can move this around the same way you do in Inventor. No big deal. That doesn't, you don't need any instruction on that. Now, it came in with the same materials I assigned to it in Inventor. So this has the carbon fiber here, and then that's supposed to be aluminum. You can change all that, no problem. So let's check our behaviors. You hit B, okay, and you can expand this down. You grab this little node here, pull it down, and here you go. Drive bolt, drive jaws, drive nut, okay, drive washer, and drive washer 2. Okay, so we can check them. Okay, so check 1. Okay, usually this screen, I'm making this smaller so that my recording software can get it, but usually you get a little bigger screen here. You can put this off. Wherever you move it, it'll come to the middle of the screen. Wherever you move it, it'll stay there, so you can get it out of your way. You can bring all these up by right-clicking and going this way, and it's going to, oh, that's, I already got that one up. Okay, there you go. It's going to bring it to the center. You drag it over here, and then next time that you go to put these up, they're going to come back in the same place. Okay, so we can bring these up, and let's just check them. All right. Okay, so if we take this one, you see the washer comes out right there, and the bolt comes out. And those speeds look okay. The nuts on the other side. Okay, and then the jaw. Okay, the speed looks good. Okay, and this washer's on the other side as well. Looks like it moves pretty fast. Let's see. Yeah, it's just short. Okay, if we look at this surface here, this is the surface you would constrain both the bolt and the washer to. That way when you move the bolt or the washer, it doesn't interfere with the other part, if that makes sense. I don't want to set the bolt up to where it sits on this surface, which would be fine normally, but if I move this washer, Showcase will drag this bolt out with it, and it will take it with it. So when you set up your constraints in Inventor, just make sure you set it up to this surface here. For both of them, they can move independently. Okay, enough of that. Okay, so we know our behaviors work. If I take, let's say I run this, and that's too fast or too slow for me, I can take the plus or the minus sign and click on it. So if I do the plus, 1, 2, 3, and then I try it again, it's a little bit faster this way. 1, 2, 3. It's getting faster this way. Okay. So you can set your speeds up for however fast you want it to go during your video. Okay. So now that we know the behaviors work, we can close all these, And that's going to be it for this video. The next one will pick up where this leaves off. We'll start heading toward making a video for this. Thanks for watching.